Thank you. Thanks to the Midwest Writing Center and Ryan for inviting me. And, man, the Quad Cities are beautiful. We just rolled in today. We're staying in Davenport. My husband and I, we walked across the Arsenal here into Rock Island to have dinner, and it's a really fantastic place. So thank you for a warm welcome. I'm going to read tonight from Demolition of the Promised Land, which is my most recent book, as Ryan mentioned. And there are a lot of poems in here about Bruce Springsteen. If there are any Springsteen fans in the audience, then depending on your feelings about what I've done with him in these poems, we'll talk later. There was a time in my life where I sort of felt like, and maybe you can identify that everything was a test and I was failing every single one. Like those dreams that you have where you wake up and you think before you wake up, haven't been to this class all semester, but if I can just make it to the final and somehow pass it, who knows how, then life will be okay. It's like that. A chemistry exam cheat sheet. It's just liquids and solids and kinetics and solutions, so relax. Think construction crews, wrecking balls, Saturday night in the rear view, the reaction of fight, love, flight. In 5 words or less, predict your chance for escape. Imagine you and you and you, a tangle of smoke and knees and birth of the cool. Name the one in the cat's eye glasses who spilled a drink down her maroon silk dress. Will she send the future you a message by text? And what will it say? True or false? Dopamine is a sick Baltimore DJ. Xanax, a Japanese comic for girls. Explain Chicago. Define a glass platform 5 layers thick, suspended in mid-air. Take that one step into nothing. Rate of change, distance with time. Then divide by X, the slick neoprene black hole of everything that keeps and changes. Records of once upon a time teeth and their lonely crowns. Those spare forensic hairs. What's left? The burning question for extra credit. Will you love me tomorrow? And will I? Craft a plausible hypothesis, you optimist. Outline an experiment in which you go to bed, then get up every day until you don't. Your data is all we have, so be honest. Repeat as needed. Show your work. So, like I said, Bruce Springsteen is a bit of a power animal for me in this book. There comes a time when everything can feel full of despair, and you start to wonder what is the point of all of this living in America these days? Do we not have any superheroes left? And maybe we only have Bruce Springsteen. That's what I came to realize. So this is a poem that only people who like poetry ever appreciate, because it's just one giant Allen Ginsberg joke. A supermarket in New Jersey. The monks are setting themselves on fire, and the bees have all but disappeared. Last night, Bruce Springsteen went to the supermarket, the fancy one near his house, where mangoes piled high like dragon eggs make him forget the news. He pushes his red shopping cart into the mortuary glow of the yogurt case. The wheels impossibly smooth, this Bentley of a cart full of snacks, and considers the tubs. What to do about the honey flavor, he wonders, about the taste of golden summer depleted. Abundance is a mirage. The monks know that. There are no poets in the fruit. The wise are still in the avocados, but he knows better than to write about them. The sushi guy chops tuna belly, a Chopin sonata. Children at this hour are mostly pliant, shy grins when Bruce Springsteen draws bananas like 6-shooters, tries to play OK Corral in the aisle, wishing he had a cowboy hat. Popping like flashbulbs under soft overhead light, here are 5 different kinds of grape. And for a second, he finds himself thinking, what could go wrong in a world with 5 different kinds of grape? Honeybees lost and the crops just go? to say nothing of the harvest, children and the tomatoes. Boys drink oil to explode from within on main streets, in markets. What would I burn for, Bruce Springsteen wonders, when he knows only the comfort of the 6-inch valley, the dull knife's desire? It is peak season. Little armies of chicken-shaped fluff, their sugared, baleful stares. It is quiet, aside from refrigerators humming and the tender mist of water over the greens. You can't price a kerosene fire by weight, Bruce Springsteen murmurs, pats his pocket for a pencil, thinks, oh, that's a good one, save. Forgive me, Walt Whitman, I called to you. There ain't no Eden in this garden state. This is what I know about ghosts. They are selfish. They are books with hollow insides. They live off memorials, steal carbon dioxide from candles they can't even use. They are unbidden. Her in my house, and only the men could see. Him pulling my young mother back from the wreck. They are small as a cat's plush toy, as any real mouse. They skulk baseboards, they squeak your car brakes, they are hungry for your favorite shawl. In my old house, everything woolen was ridden round, a hole for every empty mouth. I threw out my sweaters and left in the spring, told anyone who'd listen what lives there. A ghost for the man who didn't believe in altars, in graves, so any dead woman would do. Her laugh, a dull chime, ice cubes against glass, when I stood in sock feet and cast my demands. A miracle, dead woman, or show me your face. No hands pulled me back from the wreck. A shadow, a shuffle of wings behind me, drawn to the lights. When she took a body, I mistook her for moths, a dozen paper bodies in ashen heap. She wanted to be me, undone, and then she was, as I will be. Have you guys ever been to the coast of New Jersey? Anyone here frequent New Jersey? All right, Lauren, all right. There's this weird thing about 20 minutes outside of Atlantic City on the coast. And it's a really beautiful thing. If you ever have a chance to visit her, I encourage you to do so. Outside Atlantic City. When Bruce Springsteen wants to get away, he leaves behind the stone pony and hides inside the wood and tin sheeting belly of Lucy, the 6-story elephantine colossus, a mournful Victorian fancy guarding the coast of Margate, New Jersey. I know this because that is where I would go to get away from being me if I could, though I am not even myself most days, let alone anyone's boss. The precise state to which Bruce Springsteen surely some days aspires. It is said that elephants have great memories, and though Lucy's temporal lobes are velveteen cushions stuffed with horsehair bundles, their infinite capacity comforts him, allows him to store his regrets in her folds, empty his wallet for a while. Here are the papers to induct the E Street Band into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that faltering chimera, that cafeteria of spent guitar picks and spangle, and tucked away deep, the boardwalk heyday. And here, in the far reaches, tunnel of love, smelling of sawdust and stale wedding cake, bundled in faded silk blouses. Underneath, in a deep place only Bruce Springsteen can find, a brilliant disguise, a gray mask with sailcloth ears and a long wrinkled trunk for when he must emerge, stumble forth into the morning sun, wiping glitter from his blinking eyes. At a sanctuary in Tennessee, 2 elephants reunited after 20 years apart nearly break down a steel gate to wrap their trunks tighter around each other. What does Bruce Springsteen hold tight? Bruce, We each have our own beast belly, own at least one shabby disguise. We know you, and we can see you, because we are all hiding in plain sight. So when Hurricane Sandy battered the coast of New Jersey, a really interesting thing happened. In the wake of the storm in Seaside Heights, which is, you might know that from the prestige TV program Jersey Shore. Seaside Heights is that town where the Jersey Shoreites lived and partied. And on the boardwalk they have a big roller coaster. It's called the Starjet. And after the hurricane, the storm kind of washed away a lot of the beach and it completely tore up the boardwalk. And the roller coaster ended up out actually in the ocean. Like, I guess, I don't know if the coaster went to the ocean or if the ocean came to the coaster, but it ended up kind of way out there in the surf. And it stayed there for months until they finally took it down. But in the meantime, before they were able to, because they had a whole lot of other stuff to clean up first, before they were able to take it down, this guy kept getting arrested for climbing up to the top and planting an American flag on it. That guy was not Bruce Springsteen. But I like to think, what if it was? Starjet standing. It begins with a hurricane sweeping Seaside Heights onto the ocean floor. Yards out into the surf, a fossil of the shattered boardwalk. The roller coaster, as much a museum centerpiece as any mammoth or T-Rex bones. Rebuilding is a dubious art, what with the uncertain rate of rust. But Bruce Springsteen rolls up his pants, eyeballs the Starjet from a power stance on the beach. It's night, and the boardwalk unnaturally dark. The ocean roars, a cover for his cause. Maybe it's playing to the back of the room, to the boys desperate for a gesture, but turning back is not an option. He grips the casing, rattles the skeleton as waves crash the top of his boots, the fine Atlantic salt crusting his cuffs up to his knees, every drop fountained into the higher truth of the winter night sky. A saxophone solo is what this mission needs. He thinks, like always since the big man died, like he couldn't use a boost up a mountain shoulder, like he couldn't use another set of hands to tie the bandana around his head, kiss him gently as a father. And this is how we separate the boys from the men. This a cappella solo. It's one hand on top of the other, and the slow rush of blood to his feet, and the mysterious black of the sea before him. Bruce Springsteen pauses halfway up. A car, intact but creaking. He kneels in the fragile seat and wonders if this could be a reasonable way to die, to rattle loose from the tether until the sudden overtakes him, a fitting map to the flattened world. Spit takes the long way down. The joists clatter under rickety tracks. Soon, the Coast Guard will be back. The wind has picked up. A dog left behind howls a harmonica cantata, and Bruce Springsteen thinks that'll have to do. Footfalls on steel are a rhythm section, the flag furled in his back pocket where a heart-red hat once flamed. It ends at the summit, this swaying land claimed for everything that dies and someday comes back. And here is the proof. He can almost see Atlantic City from here, planting the flag in silhouette against the moon, claiming the coaster as sovereign nation until the spotlight sweeping, the boat horn barking, and Bruce Springsteen making himself a reed, a sapling, anything that can bend into the night and come out tall by morning. So I think every area that has a lot of rural open space also has a problem with legend with cryptozoological phenomenon, otherwise known as Bigfoot and his cousins. And New Jersey is actually no different from that. I know a lot of people think of Jersey as like a lot of malls and highways, but they're all a lot of like really weird, wild, rural areas, especially in southern New Jersey. And there's this huge nature preserve area called the Pine Barrens. And so New Jersey has this particular cryptozoological phenomenon known as the Jersey Devil, which looks like this. Okay, it has like bat wings and a camel's head, kind of, but like a really long neck, sort of like a llama, and it has a tail and, I don't know, fangs, and I guess it eats teenagers or something, like they do. Maybe Bruce Springsteen has decided to do something about it once and for all. Like Pine Barrens dark. Hours creep by in the ladder stand, scraping like a blade sharpening on stone. This is the hour of the wolf. Bruce Springsteen has gone hunting. He knows he is not a slayer, only that he lives in New Jersey, where weird is just another chilly dog day at the beach. But lately, dogs have gone missing. A shadow falls across the golf course. Blink and you'll miss it, but you swear you saw a long, forked tail. Wings. And then there's the empty Toyota parked off a dirt road, top peeled back like a sardine can, six-pack still cold on the street. There's more than one way to be a hero. Bruce Springsteen's eyes adjust to the charcoal dark. Blood is only blood, he tells himself. Half mantra, half plea. You don't have to be a big man to bring a demon down, but what urine baptism does a monster hunt demand? Pennsylvania deer won't prepare you for this rough beast and its camel-domed head. Bruce Springsteen thinks he should star in his own comics. Thighs pumped up near bursting through trousers, a hammer in one hand, rail spike above head, or a samurai spin-off, Ronin with a six-string, an epic vengeance tale. He smacks his face lightly, a reminder to listen for cloven hooves upon ground, a shriek too weird to be wind. He will wait, and when it swoops down to crush him in jaw, wailing, Bruce Springsteen will be ready to cowboy himself upon its back, to mount it like an electric bull, grab hold of those devil leather wings, and ride, baby, ride. All right, just got a couple more here. And then we'll hear the fabulous Lauren Haldeman as well. So I grew up in Kentucky, and this is a poem about the Kentucky side of my family, which every family has its Gothic side, but Southern Gothic is always just a little more Gothic, I think, than everyone else's. Yeah. I think those of you with Southern families know what I'm talking about. Mother says dead boys live in the old kitchen, cooking up ways to remind us they are our kin. I dare you to knock and run, dare you to knock and stay. Silvered portraits, fist upon chin, a praise. One cousin, a murderer, not yet crossed over, but ask his daddy how. One cousin killed, and guess who married his sister? Fists full of rice and a fluttering veil? What does that make the rest of us? Even me. Here, a mottled mirror. Mutter a name to that mirror 3 times, and who will come to save me? Cousin Beau? A Carmen Miranda painting, a scarf, a convertible legacy? A likely story. Oh, you cousins twice removed, shy voice drowned by oncoming trains, crumpled trunk of a body that could not grow, mushroom unearthed in an album's vellum, and you unnamed cousins crowding the ambrosia barbecues, jostling clumsy, unbaptized graves. I believe I saw old news written on the fogged-up window. I believe we are in debt, and we owe at least one boy back. Yes, this is my cousin, a number, a story, a case. When you sing into the kitchen, into the news, the wind whistles back. The dead boys live in the old kitchen, whilst the padlock, the bar across the door. The dead boys are cooking up breakfast, warming their hands on steaming mugs. My dead boy, if you're not dead now, you will be soon. I thought my mother would hate that poem, but she rather likes it. She rather likes it. Las Meninas. You guys know this painting by Velázquez where there's the awful little Infanta Margarita and the King and Queen of Spain in the back, but there's Velázquez, the painter, up front, kind of owning. It's like the first photobomb selfie, I think, of history. Las Meninas. And there stands the Infanta Margarita, the ugly daughter. A loose translation, but certain as Baroque panel dresses, as the mastiff at the feet of the fool. My joy, the king calls her in his letters, a diamond for my joy, for my brother's new wife. Things were different in those days, rough for a Habsburg girl, all your inbred flaws rendered in exquisite theological detail. Oof, that forehead. But her father loves her. He gave her a diamond, a fancy gray-blue number like the Hope, now cut and recut until culture itself curled up and died shaboom. What do we lose with the flaws anyway? And oh, those lesser maids, little beauties uncertain of their fathers, catching the edges of Margarita's holy light. It's a living. There will always be studies, always more portraits, artists, hello, hello again. Over my friend's desk, a clown-handed stick figure labeled Dad, shot-topped stick kids pogoing around him. The physics are shaky, but the smiles could cut glass. Trust me, little maid, if you can. Your father, he loves you, and this is not a dream, though you are still not the last Habsburg, only a girl in first or second grade. What war could she wage in that dress, anyway? It is time for Easter Mass. Shaboom, assemble the maids. My father's letters are formal, but he loved me, and he died. Hello, hello again, little maid, little fool, my only medal, a diamond gleaming red on my chest. And I'll close tonight with a little Bruce Springsteen. There's this place outside of Knoxville where all the CSI wannabes go to study their CSI type craft. This poem is called Decomposition Studies. When he goes, Bruce Springsteen declares one night over dinner, let him go to the body farm. Compost unburied somewhere on 2 acres of bloodroot, witch hazel, carpet of leaves. Let him be useful, he mumbles over tacos. Never mind that he's not mountain born, that salt water won't rust his belt buckle down. He wants to train dogs to find those gone missing with the memory of moldering ruin when they hunt. Because a body should know how to be found. If undone is what we already are, let us clasp our hands. Holy horsefly, maggot, wasp. Bruce Springsteen knows if you sing back up for a body on a resurrection song, you are open to certain ideas beyond Cleveland, Memphis, beyond Viking ship fossils and boots, still life with ball cap, a life-sized wax doll. Bruce Springsteen is aware of the finite lease of nitrogen and a dramatic change in pH. A body gets dangerous in a shallow grave. A body gets eaten so many odd ways. A smile stretches up through the beetles. The dogs recognize the breakdown is everything. But where will we lay our guitar picks in tribute, our silk flower wreaths on Memorial Day? Bruce Springsteen says, leave only footprints and a rotting arm. A body should know how to find its father. A dog can be trained to hunt. Everything changes, the wonderful and awful truth. Keep your trash, little girl, your candle wax weeping, your matchlight winked out by the dew. Pick up a leaf, red as bandanas, press it in wind-rattled pages. Don't apologize for your live nerves. Carve your name on the face of the mountain. Pocket a rock, mistaken for bone. Thank you.
Yeah.